A veterinarian is called to examine a chimpanzee named Ben who's experiencing flu-like symptoms at a private facility. When he walks into Ben's cage, the veterinarian sees the chimp is visibly sick, lethargic, feverish, not acting normally. The vet prepares an injection, assuming it's really just the flu or a minor infection, but suddenly, Ben retreats and hides inside his enclosed shelter area. When the veterinarian tries calling him out gently, coaxing him to come get his medicine, Ben's hand suddenly shoots out from the darkness. He grabs the vet's hand and drags him violently inside the dark enclosure. The scene shifts back in time. We meet Lucy, a college student boarding an airplane. She's traveling to Hawaii to visit her younger sister Erin and their father during school break. Lucy is accompanied by her friends Kate and Hannah. They're all excited for a tropical vacation. When the plane lands in Hawaii, the girls are picked up at the airport by Nick, Kate's older brother who lives locally. He drives them through beautiful Hawaiian scenery to where they'll be staying, Lucy's father's stunning cliffside property overlooking the ocean. Lucy goes to find her sister Erin in her bedroom. But Erin is moody and withdrawn, claiming she just wants to be left alone. Deep inside, she's actually angry at Lucy for being away at college for so long, and tells Lucy bitterly that she's been lonely without her older sister around. Suddenly, Ben, the family's pet chimpanzee, appears from under Erin's bed. He's excited to see Lucy after her long absence, making happy chimp sounds and reaching for her affectionately. Lucy hugs Ben warmly, clearly having a bond with the animal from childhood. That evening, while Hannah goes out on the balcony to smoke, she decides to explore the impressive house. She wanders downstairs and discovers an incredible indoor pool, which amazes her. The whole setup is luxurious and unexpected. Later, she's startled when Ben suddenly appears behind her silently. When Hannah calls Ben's name, trying to be friendly, Ben doesn't respond normally. He seems distant, not quite present mentally. Then Ben aggressively grabs Hannah's hand, squeezing hard enough to hurt her. Lucy's father arrives just in time and uses sign language to tell Ben firmly to let go. Lucy's father apologizes to Hannah, explaining through an interpreter that Ben is just being weird today. He has no idea that Ben has already contracted rabies and the virus is beginning to affect his brain. Later that evening, while Lucy's father puts Ben in his cage for the night, he notices a bite mark on Ben's arm. He examines it, wondering what could have bitten him. Concerned but not alarmed, he locks the cage securely and leaves. The next morning, Lucy's father shows Lucy and Erin a dead mongoose. He explains he found it in Ben's enclosure. Apparently it got in somehow and bit Ben, so Ben killed it in self-defense. He doesn't think much of it beyond being annoyed about the security breach. But it becomes horrifyingly clear that the mongoose was rabid, and that bite transmitted the virus to Ben. Later, the girls enjoy themselves in the pool, swimming and having fun together. The vacation atmosphere is carefree and happy. The girls call some guys they met on the plane and invite them to come over and hang out since Lucy's father has left for work. Kate starts drinking heavily and eventually begins throwing up. Lucy, being a good friend, takes her upstairs and lays her on a bed so she can rest and recover. Hours later, Kate wakes up groggy and heads to the kitchen to pour herself water. Suddenly, she hears movement behind her. She turns and sees Ben's stuffed teddy bear sitting on the kitchen table. She assumes her friends are playing a prank on her. Then Ben suddenly jumps onto the table and stares at Kate with predatory eyes, and Kate immediately senses something is very wrong with Ben. She slowly backs away and slides the glass door closed between them, putting a barrier between herself and the chimp. Lucy comes downstairs after hearing the commotion, and Kate tells her urgently that something is very wrong with Ben. His behavior is completely off. Suddenly, they hear screams coming from the pool area. They rush there and find Ben viciously attacking Nick, clawing and biting him. Lucy screams at Ben to stop, and surprisingly, he does pause. Ben then uses sign language to communicate that his arm is hurting. Lucy doesn't quite understand what he's trying to convey. The rabies is affecting his cognitive function and making his signing confused. Nick, bleeding and terrified, decides the best course of action is to tie Ben up for everyone's safety. But the attempt to restrain him only aggravates Ben further. When they manage to get rope around him, Ben bites through it easily with his powerful jaws and then bites Erin on the leg. Nick suddenly remembers something crucial. Ben can't swim. He shouts to the others to get in the pool immediately. They all jump in, and it works. Ben paces at the pool's edge but won't follow them into the water. The friends realize with horror that they're trapped. Ben has effectively cut off all the exits from the pool area. They can't reach the doors or stairs without him catching them. Lucy then realizes what's happening. Ben is infected with rabies. That explains his aggressive behavior, the confusion, the violence. The friends try screaming over the pool balcony for help, but their neighbors are too far away to hear them through the dense tropical vegetation. Nick decides to take action. He plans to push Ben over the edge of the pool balcony when the chimp gets close enough. When Ben approaches, Nick shoves hard. Ben falls over the edge, and for a moment everyone believes they're finally free, but Ben managed to grab hold of the railing. As Nick leans over to check, Ben reaches up and grabs him, pulling with superhuman strength. Nick is yanked over the balcony and plummets to his death on the rocks far below. The girls scream in terror and grief. They've just watched Kate's brother die, and they realize if they're not extremely careful, they'll be next. A couple of minutes later, the girls are still trapped in the pool. Ben sits nearby watching them patiently, like a predator waiting for prey to make a mistake. Lucy carefully and slowly gets out of the pool, moving inch by inch. She reaches for her phone on the floor and manages to grab it before quickly jumping back into the water just as Ben lunges. They try calling the police, but the phone screen is shattered. Lucy manages to dial the last number they called. It was the guys they met on the airplane who they'd invited over. But the guys, drunk and partying, misunderstand the panicked urgency. They think the girls just want them to bring more alcohol and promise they'll come over soon. Lucy tries to explain the emergency but then drops the phone in the pool water. When she retrieves it and tries using it again, it's completely dead. Elsewhere, Lucy's father is at a book signing event for his published work, signing books for fans when he receives a text message from the veterinarian's office. The message says the mongoose he brought in earlier tested positive for rabies in its blood sample. Lucy's father's face goes pale. Meanwhile, back at the house, the girls wake up after dozing in the pool from exhaustion. They realize Ben is no longer watching them, he's disappeared somewhere in the house. Lucy and Kate decide this is their chance. They need to get out of the water and find Nick's phone, which should be charging in Kate's bedroom. They sneak carefully into Kate's bedroom and spot the phone on the floor. But just as they reach for it, the television suddenly turns on loudly, making noise. Ben immediately comes to investigate the sound. The girls frantically hide themselves inside the bedroom closet, pressing deep into the hanging clothes. Ben enters the room and smashes the TV in his confusion and rage. Then he hears movement in the closet and begins breaking down the door. The girls push themselves deeper into the clothes at the back, holding their breath. Fortunately, Ben doesn't see them in the darkness and leaves to search elsewhere. Lucy carefully emerges from the closet. But Ben has been watching from above, perched on the ceiling rafters. He drops down on her and attacks viciously. Kate grabs a stick and hits Ben hard, giving Lucy time to escape. They run out of the room and manage to close the sliding glass door, trapping Ben inside. But Ben simply runs straight through the glass, shattering it. He chases them down the stairs and trips Kate as she's running toward the safety of the pool. Before she can get up, Ben grabs a heavy decorative rock and smashes her head in repeatedly, killing her brutally. Back at the house, the two guys Lucy and her friends invited over finally arrive. They're drunk, laughing, bringing alcohol, with no knowledge they're walking into a nightmare. They call out for the girls but the house is eerily silent. The guys decide to split up and search. One goes downstairs, the other heads upstairs. The one who goes upstairs wanders into Erin's bedroom and casually lays down on her bed, still calling out. Suddenly, Ben appears and slowly approaches the guy. The young man is clearly scared now, realizing something is wrong. He tries to calm Ben down, speaking softly, telling him to get off the bed. But Ben just stares with those predatory rabid eyes. Then he begins literally tearing the guy's face off with his teeth and hands, killing him in an absolutely horrific manner. Meanwhile, the other guy finds the girls still trapped in the pool. He's confused and tries calling his friend upstairs. The girls frantically tell him to lower his voice. They're about to warn him about Ben when Ben arrives and kills him too. Hannah, seeing Ben is distracted with his latest victim, seizes the opportunity. She quickly gets out of the pool and grabs Nick's car keys from where he left them. She runs to what she thinks is Nick's car and gets inside, locking the doors. But when she tries starting the ignition, she realizes with horror she's in the wrong car. She looks over and sees Nick's actual car parked nearby. When she tries to get out to reach the correct vehicle, Ben is already outside waiting for her. Hannah is forced to stay trapped in the car. She tries calling for help on her phone but realizes she doesn't even know the address of where they are, she just followed Nick here. Ben manages to open the car's trunk from outside. He climbs through the back and begins attacking Hannah from behind. Her screams are muffled as Ben kills her brutally in the confined space. Later, Lucy realizes if she doesn't do something, Erin will die from the rabies infection. Time is running out. She gets out of the pool despite the danger and starts looking around. She steps on broken glass, cutting her foot badly. Suddenly, Ben returns and is about to attack Lucy when he hears someone arriving on the property. It's Lucy's father finally coming home. Lucy's father walks into the house, but due to his inability to hear, he's completely oblivious to what's happened. He can't hear Lucy's desperate screams or the sounds of violence throughout the house. Lucy tries frantically to warn her father, waving her arms, but Ben chases her. Ben catches her and breaks her hand with a sickening crack. Suddenly, Erin gets into the room and bravely tries to stop Ben from killing her sister. But Ben turns on Erin and attacks her instead. Lucy, despite her broken hand, pushes Ben off Erin with all her remaining strength. Lucy's father finally understands what's happening. He pulls out a dog whistle, one designed to produce a frequency that chimps respond to instinctively. The high-pitched sound forces Ben to stop his attack and clutch his head, disoriented. But the rabies makes him unpredictable. Ben suddenly turns and attacks Lucy's father instead. Together, Lucy and Aaron push Ben with their combined strength. Ben stumbles backward over the balcony railing and falls, plummeting down to his death. Soon, police cars and ambulances arrive at the property. Paramedics immediately begin treating Aaron for her bite wound. She receives post-exposure rabies prophylaxis, a series of shots that will prevent the virus from reaching her brain. Her father holds both his daughters, grateful they're alive despite the horrific trauma they've endured. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe for more notifications. Until next time. See you soon.